Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something huge, something that fascinates and, frankly, confuses a lot of people. The law of attraction.
That's right. You hear these incredible stories, don't you? Someone visualizes a check and it appears. Someone dreams of love and there they are.
Exactly. But then you've got countless others, maybe even you listening, who are doing the vision boards, the affirmations, meditating on abundance.
And feeling completely stuck, like nothing's changing. It's this real paradox. Why the instant success for some and, well, crickets for others, even with intense effort.
So our mission today is to explore this. Is the law of attraction, as it's often presented, maybe just scratching the surface?
Could it be a kind of simplified take on something much older, much deeper? We're talking about the law of karma or causality principles taught for, what, over 2 millennia?
We want to look beyond just wishing and try to understand the actual mechanism of how our reality gets shaped.
Okay, so let's start with the modern low A promise. It's very appealing. Super appealing. The basic pitch is think it, feel it, receive it. Strong intention, vivid imagination, positive vibes.
And boom, the universe delivers. That's the promise.
That's the promise. And, we have to give it its due. There's some real truth there on a certain level.
Absolutely. Science backs this up to a point. When you really focus your mind on a goal, your confidence does tend to go up. You become clearer.
You start noticing things you wouldn't have otherwise, opportunities, connections.
Exactly. That focused belief sharpens your perception. It primes your brain to see pathways that were maybe invisible before. It increases the probability of finding success.
And this is the big but, if it were truly that simple, just think and have.
The world would look very different. We'd all be millionaires, blissfully happy in perfect relationships.
Right. The fact that so many people try so hard with low A and still struggle with lack or loneliness tells you something's missing.
It suggests that the idea of the universe as just a cosmic vending machine responding to surface-level requests, well, that's likely the biggest misunderstanding. So intention boosts probability, sure, but it doesn't guarantee the outcome. Something else must be at play.
And this is where we find common ground between low A and deeper principles, the idea of energy and vibration.
Everything's energy, right? From the tiniest particles to our own thoughts and feelings. They aren't just abstract concepts.
Not at all. Thoughts and emotions create actual, measurable, energetic shifts within us and around us. They have frequencies.
It's like we're broadcasting signals all the time. Think about emotions. You feel fear, your body floods with cortisol. You feel joy, you get endorphins. Those are real physical changes based on your inner state.
Precisely. You're like a human radio tower, constantly emitting a frequency based on your dominant emotional and mental state. And the experiences you tune into in your life tend to match that broadcast frequency.
Okay, that resonates. But here's where the crucial difference seems to emerge. The split between popular low A and, say, karma.
This is key. The universe, according to these deeper teachings, doesn't primarily respond to the surface signal, the words you're chanting, or the pictures on your board.
It responds to the root frequency, the actual vibration emanating from your deeper consciousness, your subconscious.
Exactly. You can stand in front of the mirror saying, I am wealthy, I am abundant, 1,000 times.
But if deep down there's this gnawing fear of poverty or a history of financial trauma or a profound sense of not enough.
That's the dominant signal being broadcast, that underlying fear, that core belief. That's what the universe is actually picking up on and reflecting back to you. It hears the root, not just the affirmation layered on top.
So the affirmation can almost feel like wallpapering over cracks. If I'm affirming I deserve love, but my core frequency is broadcasting I'm afraid of being abandoned.
You're likely to attract situations or partners that trigger that core abandonment fear. The outer world mirrors the deepest vibration.
So this root frequency is really the sum total of our history, our habits, our deepest beliefs, much of it unconscious.
That's the idea. And if that root is tangled with insecurity, fear, or unresolved issues, it dictates what you notice, how you act, and ultimately what results you manifest, regardless of the positive spin you try to put on it consciously.
That really shifts the focus from just thinking positive to something much deeper.
Which leads us directly to the ancient concept of karma, or causality. It reframes the whole thing. It's less about attracting what you want and more about reaping what you've sown.
Okay, let's define karma carefully here, because it gets misunderstood a lot. It's not some cosmic judge handing out rewards and punishments, is it?
Not in the way these traditions explain it. It's more like a natural law. Think of it as the accumulated energetic record of your intentions. Every thought, every word, every action. It's stored within your own consciousness.
So every intention is like planting a seed.
Exactly. A hen, a cause or seed. And when the conditions are right time, environment, other factors, that seed naturally ripens into a kwa, a result or fruit. Good seeds yield good fruit. Unwholesome seeds yield suffering. It's impersonal, like gravity.
But wait a minute, if my current life is just the fruit of seeds I planted maybe years ago, or even, as some traditions say, lifetimes ago,
Yeah.
doesn't that feel a bit fatalistic? Like I'm just stuck playing out old scripts. Where's the power of my intention now?
Ah, that's the critical point, and it's what saves causality from being mere fatalism. Yes, your past actions absolutely shape your present circumstances. The harvest you're reaping today comes from yesterday's planting.
Okay.
But the power lies entirely in the present moment. Right now, you have complete freedom to choose which seeds you water from the past, which habits you feed, and, crucially, which new seeds you decide to plant today.
So past karma determines the landscape I'm currently standing in, but my choices now determine the landscape I'm walking towards.
Perfectly put. And this is where the connection to Loe becomes really clear. These ancient texts emphasize something called mental volition or mental action.
Meaning thoughts themselves are actions, not just the physical stuff we do.
Precisely. A fleeting thought might not do much, but a repeated, sustained mental pattern of anger, of generosity, of fear, of focus creates a powerful mental habit. That habit shapes your character, your energy.
And generates that root frequency we were talking about.
Yes, it builds karmic momentum. Over time, that shapes your entire experience. There's a famous line: all phenomena are led by the mind, mastered by the mind, created by the mind. Loe taps into this power of the mind. Karma explains the underlying law of cause and effect governing it.
Okay, so if we bring this together, the iceberg analogy seems useful again. Loe, the conscious intention, the affirmation that's just the tip showing above the water.
Right, and karma is the massive unseen bulk of the iceberg beneath the surface. It's all your accumulated conditioning, your subconscious patterns, your unresolved stuff, your core energetic signature.
And the world around us, what we experience, what we seem to attract, it's like a mirror reflecting that hidden bulk.
That's the synthesis. You don't attract what you merely wish for on the surface. You attract circumstances and experiences that resonate with what you fundamentally are at that deeper karmic level. The outer is a reflection of the inner totality.
Wow, that changes everything. Let's think about practical examples. Someone desperately wants a healthy relationship.
But their underlying karmic pattern, maybe from past hurts, is deep mistrust or a need to control.
So even with the best intentions, they keep attracting partners who are untrustworthy or situations where control becomes the main dynamic. The pattern repeats because the root hasn't changed.
Exactly. Or take wealth again. Someone uses Loe to attract money, maybe they even get some windfalls. But if their root frequency is driven by intense greed, a clinging attachment, or constant anxiety about losing it,
The money won't stick. It creates instability.
correct. The external condition, money, can't find stable ground because the internal foundation, the root frequency of fear and attachment, is inherently unstable. It comes, it goes, it causes more anxiety. The reflection matches the root.
So ignoring this deeper karmic dimension leads to some common mistakes when people try to apply Loe. Let's go through those you mentioned from the sources. First up, treating Loe like a magic wand.
Yeah, this is huge. Just visualizing, just affirming and expecting results to drop from the sky without any corresponding action, effort, or ethical behavior.
It's like praying for a harvest without ever planting a seed or tending the soil.
Precisely. The universe requires the cause, action, aligned energy, to produce the effect. Wishful thinking alone isn't a sufficient cause.
Okay, second error. Using Loe purely for selfish gain, like power over others, fame at any cost, just endless accumulation.
Right. When the driving intention is solely self-centered, even if you achieve the goal temporarily, it plants seeds of negative karma. The sources suggest this often leads to isolation, anxiety, and future suffering down the line. You reap what you sow, including the quality of your intention.
Third mistake, denial. Using positive affirmations to basically lie to yourself, pretending negative emotions aren't there.
I'm happy, I'm fine, everything's perfect. When inside you're churning with fear or resentment, suppressing those real feelings doesn't make them go away.
It just pushes them deeper into the subconscious, right, where they fester and actually strengthen that negative root frequency, undermining the whole effort.
Exactly. Authentic positivity arises from acknowledging and transforming negativity, not pretending it doesn't exist.
Fourth error, thinking Loe somehow cancels out or replaces karma. The idea that you can just think a happy thought and erase the consequences of past harmful actions.
That's a misunderstanding of causality. Positive intention now is crucial for planting new positive seeds and starting to change direction. But it doesn't magically delete the ripening process of seeds already sown.
So, genuine change requires sustained effort in transforming the mind and actions, not just a quick fix affirmation.
Correct. You have to stop planting weeds and start planting flowers consistently.
And the final error, using low A as an escape, avoiding difficult truths or necessary changes by retreating into a fantasy world of visualization.
When life presents a challenge that requires facing reality, taking responsibility, or doing hard inner work, some might just double down on visualizing the opposite, hoping to bypass the necessary confrontation.
Which just reinforces a pattern of avoidance, the karma of ignorance, and prevents real growth.
Precisely. It avoids dealing with the actual roots that are causing the problem in the first place.
So the big conclusion here seems to be, if you really want to shift your reality, change what you attract, you can't just focus on the surface wish, you have to go deeper.
You have to engage in what the traditions call transformation, actively working to change those deep-seated karmic roots, that core frequency.
It reminds me of that story you mentioned, the beggar and the monk.
Right. The beggar prays constantly, give me food, give me wealth, and the monk gently asks, excellent prayers, but tell me, friend, have you sown any seeds?
You can't expect a harvest of abundance and peace if you're consistently sowing seeds of greed, fear, or anger. The harvest matches the seed.
It requires conscious, deliberate effort. The first step offered is often mindfulness chanyam, developing the ability to observe your own thoughts and feelings without judgment.
To actually see those root patterns, those automatic reactions as they arise.
Exactly. You have to become aware of the seeds you're habitually planting before you can choose to plant different ones. Mindfulness brings the subconscious patterns into conscious awareness.
And once you see them, you can consciously choose not to water the negative ones and instead cultivate positive ones.
That's the active transformation. And it involves specific practices. Meditation, for instance, is key. It helps calm the mental chatter, the constant waves on the surface, so you can see the depths more clearly.
It creates the space for awareness, and then their actions.
Absolutely. Practices like generosity bonehand directly counteracts selfishness and clinging. Compassion actively replaces energies of judgment or indifference. These aren't just nice things to do.
They're ways of actively rewiring your root frequency, shifting from a contracted, self-centered energy to an expansive, interconnected one.
Precisely. And underpinning all of this is ethical conduct, being mindful of your speech, your actions, their impact on others. This prevents you from planting new negative karmic seeds while you're working on the old ones.
So real transformation isn't about forcing an outcome through sheer willpower or visualization alone. It's a natural shift that happens when you purify the inner ground.
Exactly. When the roots become healthy, strong, and positive, the attraction of corresponding positive conditions happens more naturally, more spontaneously. It's less about getting and more about becoming. #tag outro.
So when we look at it this way, low A and karma aren't really opposing ideas, are they?
Not at all. They seem to be describing the same reality, just at different depths. Low A highlights the power of our focus and intention. That's the hopeful starting point.
And karma, or causality, reveals the deeper mechanism, the law of cause and effect operating through our thoughts, words, and actions over time. It shows why intention works and why it sometimes doesn't seem to.
The ultimate realization, then, isn't that we're passive victims attracting random things. It's that we are constantly experiencing the results of the seeds we ourselves have sown.
And those results naturally attract compatible energies and situations. Like attracts like, based on the root frequency.
But the power is always in the present. The choice to plant new seeds, healthy seeds, positive seeds, that rests entirely with you right now in this moment.
So maybe the most powerful question isn't just, how do I use low A to get what I want today?
Perhaps a deeper, more transformative question to carry with you is this. What kind of seed am I planting right now with this thought, this word, this action for the reality I will inhabit tomorrow?
That choice, moment by moment, shapes everything. That seems to be the real secret.